Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
They were killing an animal and having fun doing it. And that's not putting a dog down. That's being cruel.
A woman says she felt disgusted after her daughter got a video on social media of teenagers shooting a dog. It happened in Wadena County, and the sheriff's office has launched an investigation.
Yet, as Valley News Team's Joseph Pagaro reports, she feels like law enforcement isn't doing enough to serve justice. And a warning, the report contains graphic video.
Cassandra Witt says she nearly threw up after her daughter showed her the video.
This was not just out putting the dog down. I have watched the video so many times that you can literally hear all three shots.
The incident takes place in Wadena County.
Oh my God.
The video, which was uploaded to Facebook, has had thousands of views. Two people getting ready to shoot the dog. Another person kicked snow on the dog. We're pausing the video at this point of the dog being shot in the head because we feel as a news department that it's inappropriate to show.
This dog is cowering. It is flat on its belly, and you can tell that it does not want to be there. This is not, this poor baby needs to be put down. This was some kids, some sick individuals who need some serious help.
The video first circulated on Snapchat, a social media website. Witt says after seeing the video, she posted it on her Facebook page demanding justice.
Justice needs to be served. It's the law's job to do it. And we should not have had to take it to Facebook, to the public.
Wadena County investigators are looking into the matter. Deputies say they originally found the dog Sunday afternoon on a river near a campground with a collar and leash, but no tags. There were also several shell casings around the dog. Witt says law enforcement isn't taking this seriously.
Shadow deserved justice. She was not garbage. She did not deserve to be thrown away in a river. She did not deserve to be shot. She should have been humanely put down by somebody who cared and buried.
In Wadena County, Joshua Pagaro, Valley News Live.
We do know the names of the people in the video, but we're not identifying them at this point because no charges have been filed. Investigators say they know who is involved and will be contacting them.
New tonight, a West Fargo family is lucky to be alive after their home caught on fire during a power outage this evening. It happened around 7:45 on the 1000 block of 31st Avenue West. Crews responded to the scene on a report of a kitchen fire, but when they arrived, they determined the fire likely started during a power outage after food was left on the stove. The family will be briefly displaced. The fire caused significant damage to the home. No one was injured.
This family wasn't the only one in West Fargo without power tonight. Nearly 3,000 West Fargo residents didn't have electricity this evening after an equipment failure in a switch. The power went out about 5 o'clock late this afternoon in multiple neighborhoods. The largest area impacted was south of I-94 and along Cheyenne Street. Crews from Cass County Electric Cooperative worked throughout the evening, restored the power to all of the customers.
After one of the nicest days in a long time, our weather tonight includes some fog. Let's find out from Hutch what that might mean for tomorrow morning. Hutch?
Well, we have a few areas of low clouds and reduced visibility, but as you can see on our Valley Skycam here, you're looking out to the west that it's not horrible, but there is some haze in the skies out there. Here's a look at the radar. Some flakes flying, snow continuing in the Devil's Lake area, and the main band pushing through Grand Forks into northwest Minnesota. This is a light dusting that'll take place and cause some slippery road conditions to continue, while areas to the west are clear and to the south are clear and cooling. Visibility 3 miles in Fargo, only 1.5 miles up in Hallock. Our snow will continue to drift to the north and east as temperatures overnight slip down to just below or just above 0 degrees. That's how we start our Friday, but we end our Friday flaky. I'll have details on when the snow starts and how much to expect in one moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
For the first time in 9 days, a North Fargo woman says mail was delivered to her home. She says she went to the post office Tuesday where she picked up a large stack of mail, including late bills and a jury duty summons. There was also a letter telling her the postman would not be delivering any mail until her driveway and sidewalks were cleaned, even though she says her neighbors' walkways looked like hers, if not worse.
We chipped down our driveway a path the width of the sidewalk up to our door and also down the sidewalk, and he still didn't deliver our mail.
In a related story, U.S. Senator John Hoeven from North Dakota addressed various delivery issues at a roundtable discussion with USPS officials today.
If you're having trouble, sign up for Informed Delivery. And then right on your cell phone, they'll track the mail you're supposed to get for that day. So you'll see what you're supposed to get, and if for any reason it doesn't show up, there's a number right there you hit, and you contact you with the post office, and you can find out the status.
USPS says postmen make every effort to deliver mail on time, but some might not if the safety becomes a concern.
East Grand Forks police are warning residents of a scam making its way through the community. They say people are receiving a letter and a check in the mail from HS Brands Community. The letter asks people to buy gift cards as part of a secret shopper survey and then give the gift cards back to the company. But police warn this is a scam. If you receive this letter, ignore it. If you have any questions, contact East Grand Forks Police at 218-773-1104.
Police are reminding you to be cautious after multiple vehicles were stolen, and many of the victims made it easier for the criminals. So far this year, there have been 47 stolen car reports in Fargo. 21 were stolen while they were unlocked with the keys inside. Several victims told police that they were in a store for only a couple of minutes. Police say it doesn't take long for your car to be stolen.
A Minnesota woman has not yet been charged in the fatal shooting of her husband in Blooming Prairie, Minnesota last year. But the gun found in her Texas hotel room when she was arrested is linked to that murder. Lois Reese is accused of killing her husband, David Reese, then fleeing to Fort Myers, Florida, and killing a woman there, Pamela Hutchinson, and assuming her identity. Testing by the Minnesota BCI indicates the shell casings found at David Reese's homicide matched the handgun. Lois Reese remains jailed in Florida. The Minnesota Attorney General's office is reviewing the case.
Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison also wants help solving the vexing problem of skyrocketing medications such as insulin.
Today, Ellison announced he's forming an advisory task force to explore ways that Minnesota leaders can fight for lower drug prices. John Croman reports.
And by the time we got to the hospital, I thank God for, I might get a little emotional and I apologize, because my body started shutting down.
Tragic tales from the struggle against the high cost of medication from people Attorney General Keith Ellison brought together for the media.
My ability to function physically deteriorated to the point I can no longer cut a peanut butter sandwich with a knife.
The skyrocketing price of life-saving drugs like insulin makes waves, but the AG wanted to put faces to it.
He's been living on 6 months worth of insulin now for a little over a year. Rationing.
Christy Keene is talking about her husband, Kurt, who saw his insulin costs go through the roof, even with insurance.
My husband is ill quite frequently, so it really impacts our lives drastically.
Stories like this have motivated the Attorney General to form an advisory task force on lowering drug prices. He hopes to attract people from a variety of backgrounds to find the right prescription.
This is not the task force for people who are okay with the status quo or who would like to see him go higher. That's not what we're doing here.
The Attorney General can and does file lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies over price gouging, but Keith Ellison concedes litigation isn't enough, saying it will take a comprehensive approach from lawmakers and consumers.
There are new protocols in the state of Minnesota to try and keep prison employees and inmates safe. Officials gave a rare tour of the Moose Lake Men's Prison, where there's a renewed focus on safety, but also a push to help inmates be prepared to succeed in life when they eventually leave.
And give some relief to the facilities by helping us to not return short-term violators back to the facilities, but to keep them in the community, better manage them, better supervise them.
Commissioner Schell says 95% of inmates will live in our communities again someday.
All those complaints about the state missing out on sales taxes from online purchases are starting to pay off. Tax Commissioner Ryan Rauschenberger says since the Supreme Court's South Dakota versus Wayfair decision, his office has been registering more than 2,500 remote sellers. And since October, the state has collected more than $5 million. About 1/5 of that money is in the form of city and county sales taxes, and the rest is the state's. Spread those kinds of figures out over the 2019 through 21 budget period, and the state is expected to bring in about $25 million, money it did not have before.
A school custodian is being called a hero for saving a rabbit that was trapped under feet of snow this weekend. We're told that workers at Fargo North had cleaned the snow off the roof earlier that morning, must have trapped the bunny down below. In the video, you can see the custodian shoveling, eventually getting down on his hands and knees to rescue the bunny. The rabbit does hesitate at first, then hops to freedom. While we don't know the person's name, we can tell you that this video was shared on Facebook Monday morning. It has already been seen over 20,000 times and shared over 200 times.
Our